I would like to give all glory and praises to the Most High. I am back at you all with another one. This one is about how almost 2 years ago my local police department attempted to assassinate me. I was very hesitant on dropping this because I don't like to give the enemy the glory or even airing out my business, but the life I am living you can't conceal any like personal business or information, so hopefully this will bless another TI to come out with their own story or testimonies. So you all see majority of the police harassment and their agents harassing me by the content on my channel and social media platforms over the years, but I never told you all how this initially started back in 2017. So back in mid-2016 I had made a YouTube channel for what most people would consider to be a truth or conspiracy theory channel, talking about things like martial law, FEMA camps, but my most viewed video was talking about the unarmed killing of Black Americans in specifically Alton Sterling. So about 2 months or so went by and I noticed my phone started acting weird and out of sorts, randomly turning off, going into boot loops for hours, and when I would make calls there would be like a echo in the background. Also, when I would go to work out at my local park, which there were 2, when I would arrive and go to turn my Wi-Fi off, there would be a specific Wi-Fi named FBI Vehicle Surveillance. I thought nothing of it because the area is near a military-type base, so I'm thinking it's all just a coincidence. Around this time as well, the police harassment started to amp up, like they were illegally pulling me over and impounded my vehicles for no legal reason. Several times between 5 to 7 cars were illegally taken away from me by the police, and if they weren't took away I was illegally pulled over and harassed for nothing. I remember one specific incident when they pulled me and my girl at the time over. It was my car, of course, and I was driving and took my keys and left us stranded on the freeway for over an hour. That relationship with the young lady didn't last much longer due to the infiltration, smear campaign and persuasion of being a target individual. So going toward the end of 2017 to around April of 2018, when the law enforcement had a premeditated pull-over staged and set up, approaching me with weapons drawn and calling for backup while I was en route to a cousin nearby. Of course, once again impounding my vehicle. If anyone is familiar with impoundments and how they work, once they take or tow the vehicle in, it's a base price of like $400 and goes up like $150 each day. So I was only able to obtain 2 back during this period because I was already being financially ruined at the time. So, at that point I vowed that I wouldn't put myself behind the wheel again to allow them to gun me down or like illegally kill me on a traffic stop, which I think was one of their alternative motives and something they've done to several people in the past, especially minorities. I still don't drive to this day because of this aspect. Soon after, the street harassment begun on the community level or proxy stalking. So, at this time the gangstalking was already full throttle, or to the point it is now, and I really couldn't get around like that because of me not being able to drive a vehicle. So I had to use foot and rideshare, Uber, Lyft, to get daily tasks done. I would have to meet them at my local transit center, which was right across the street from my crib because I lived in a gated community. So, as I begun going here, I would notice fake worker, individuals being paid by InfraGard to come on daily basis to do little tasks, pretend work, just because I was present. The most popular video on my channel is recalculation and documentation of this because this is about a month prior to when assassination attempt took place. InfraGard agent called the law on me just to come out and harass me. This video has like 25,000 views on my channel. So I was up at this transit center quite often, like 5, maybe 6 days a week. So, skip to around when the assassination attempt happened, they did little subliminal things like throw garbage around the facility and remove the cover to the emergency button. On the night it took place, it was business as usually, no confrontation, conflict or dispute with anyone. I wake up in hospital. So, the police department or government instructed someone to blindside or sneak attack me from behind. Had a gash in the back of my head and had to get staples and surgery. Still had my backpack, jewelry, etc. Only individuals that asked me what happened was the hospital personnel, and I told them exactly what I could remember: nothing. I literally blacked out. Only reason I knew where this took place was because this was my part regular day routine to survive and gain some funds, or I wouldn't have even knew that. I had severe nerve damage, couldn't taste my food, and was hospitalized and bedridden for almost a month. After I was released, I was quickly admitted to a mental ward for 5 days, being harassed, proxy stalked, etc. The first night I arrived, they illegally injected me with some sort of substance, needle, while 3 workers held me down against my will. The day prior to me being released, a counselor guy came and asked me if I felt crazy and things along these lines, essentially gas-lighting me. I told him no, I am considered to be a terrorist by the government and I'm being proxy stalked, harassed by the community and police, and directed him to my YouTube channel. He quickly got upset and sent me on my way. So, yeah, that's essentially how it went down in a nutshell. Brief recap. Theoretically speaking as well, even if I would have gotten into an altercation with someone, similar to what happened a few months ago, or conflicts between 2016 to 2018 prior to me knowing the depths of being targeted and COINTELPRO program. Essentially, they're premeditated and set up situations by local law enforcement and low-level police agents that are being paid money, gift cards, even given work release, etc. to harass fellow American citizens, and the law enforcement instructs it to be done, participates and turns a blind eye to it. This was a transit center, so there's multiple cameras throughout, but we all know if this would have been reversed and I was to have done this to someone, I would have been held to the letter of the law, but since the law enforcement did it, or very least instructed it to be done, nothing. I blacked out like I stated early and didn't remember anything anyway, but it's just the simple fact. I learned early in this COINTELPRO that law enforcement was behind this, so what logical sense would it even make to report police agents to law enforcement? They're all on the same team and work for the same white supremacist system. This is how corrupt the government is too, and also in my area the police have their own white supremacy police gang against certain Negro and minority citizens, which is intertwined with the Ku Klux Klan and Proud Boys. This is why back in 2016 when all this initially started happened, I was saying the war in Iraq and all that was fabricated through Patriotic Act, because look at what they've done to us. Lie, smear campaign, propaganda, and we are their own fellow American citizens, neighbors, etc. So if the government can do this to us, they can definitely do it overseas to other people that we've never seen them before, demonize them to cause conflict. So, I hope I've given another targeted individual courage and the light to come out with their own story or testimonies. Shabbat Shalom to all my brothers and sisters in this truth. All praises up to the Most High.